Hello, everyone. Wait. Oh no. Okay. We are going to play today Silence the House. I never played this game, so I'm not sure what to expect. I think this was like a visual novel I heard. Well, the music is too violent, right? And yeah, I don't know much about this game except for the name and that it's probably a visual novel. So yeah, let's get started and see what's this all about. No, don't crash on me. Okay. To see your own sins. Anthony the Great. Okay. Oh. Um. Should I do something? Save, load, auto mode, skip, story settings. Okay. Yeah, so I was right. It's a visual novel. Let me close the window. Because it was getting in the way. Okay, so it has been a while since we left New Lake Road. How close are we? Who's speaking? I've never been to this place before, so I'm not sure how long it should take us to reach our destination. Last time I was carried away to an old inoperative factory on the outskirts of town. I wonder who's talking. Or is this like the narrative, you know? The person who narrates before the characters actually talk? Before that, I was wandering around the plantation to the villa. Once there was even an asylum in the heartlands. I think the factory was my favorite. Maybe I should visit it again. We traveled along the narrow, grey path that was buried under the leaves. Wait. I'm gonna hide for a second. Because something is not working right. I don't know why this is happening. Okay. And let's go back. Okay. I'm back. I'm sorry for the for the break. Like they're trying to set us on this you know, environment, like making it moody, and I'm breaking the mood. We traveled along the narrow grey path that was buried under the leaves. It was not the wind, but some other forces that brought them here. This thing was as fake as a smile on Grace's face. Who's Grace? The leaves were arranged in such a way that so that they would not cross the edge of the narrow path, obviously sparkling in the beams of our flashlights. Okay, so I assume it's night, and they are walking up on a forest? It reminded me of a twisted version of an old German fairy tale, Hansel and Gretel, and in this version the naive children rushed right into the jaws of an unspeakable creature. What version is that? I want to read it. Can they just add the source, you know? It will be nice. I don't know, I'm terrible at names, so sorry if I mispronounce names. Joyce put his foot on one of the leaves which was found over the edge of the path, and the silence was broken by his hoarse voice. Okay. Man, it's been an hour since we entered this freaking forest. Oh, he has quite an interesting tattoo. And too much eyelashes. Hang on, guys, we're almost there. Oh, she's Grace, okay. Grace is like... It's like me, but without ears. I heard that before, Grace, and this is what, the third time? This is Martin. Okay. Kate. I don't think there's a need to go any further, guys. Oh, she's like the mean girl. You know, that vibe? This for itself gives me the creeps. Maybe we should just stay here for the night? I agree with that. I'm terrible at making voices. I mean, I could make voices, but it takes me so long to go into character that I can't really do it without, you know, playing it before showing. I don't know. I admire voice actors that can actually improvise like that. But I don't think I can pull it off. See, Martin agrees with me. I agree with that. Kate, what do you say if we have sex in front of this pretty little stump? If this hook snack on it were real nose, I bet he will stick it under your sexy topic right into your Iceland's... What? This is escalating too fast and too quick. What makes you think that I will let you do anything with my body, you piece of shit? Whoa. Yeah, I call it this. It has the Mean Girls vibe. Can somebody please remind me why I'm still going out with such a pervert? If you had enough of this shit, you should hang out with me. Okay, another rotten brain. Are the males of this story okay, though? I'm starting to worry. If this is a story of survival or something, I call it that the guys are going to die. They're probably making us feel like, yeah, they are jerks, they deserve it, or something like that, among those lines. And probably the only survival is my clone here. Nope. Oh, she's chewing gum. Okay, okay. And what about you, Grace? Nah. If you think that you are some kind of Superman who is not afraid to accompany me on this spooky abandoned house, do not fool yourself. Your so-called chivalrous act is just a trick to get me into bed. You need to try harder to get my use of it. So I have a chance? Sweet, what made you so friendly today? It is my birthday after all, and we are going to have a party. What do you have for brains? Shit? She really is my clone. It is a very special day. It is special indeed. Oh, we didn't even get introduced to this character. Cecily, okay. Today, Grace holds the stage, but her acting skill is still not good enough for an Oscar. It is bad, but everyone seemed to fall for her optimism. Oh, I almost forgot that you are with us. Come on, I have plans for you. Oh, so you are into girls. What a twist. Looks like you are dead in the water now. What? Where are they jumping to assumptions so fast? You are certainly a cutie, Ashley, and in this panda hood, but it is still not enough for a girl to win my heart yet again. The end of her phrase was said very quietly, but I heard it. I smiled wryly. Okay, so this is Ashley's point of view, probably. Because she didn't get introduced to until the very end. And it looks like all that we are reading now is her thoughts, probably. Looks like all of us have a skeleton in the closet, but what if the closet is the size of a house? This silly idea came to my mind when I saw this colossal house. I felt like something was coming. The house seemed to be flickering on the crossroads of reality and imagination in the land of the... Welcome to the Twilight Zone! These words were taken straight out of the Twilight Zone, right? Its secrets were hidden in darkness, just like the forest. Okay, that's interesting. The weak yellow lights were jumping from one tree to another. Yellow lights? From the house, or running along the path and flickering in the night? I knew that we would soon approach the house, but maybe it's not too late to turn back and forget about all this shit. Maybe, just maybe, I had enough of this. So I asked myself, do you wish to save them, Ashley? Oh, yeah, can I say? Yeah, just in case. What happens if I say no? They aren't worth it, since I must stick to the plan. The forest is like a hungry beast with trees for teeth devour us in cold death night. Wait, so maybe she has time travel to the past to prevent something? Like she knows something? Because she said that? Their branches look like crooked hands. They struggle to rip our faces off. Or maybe we just couldn't realize their true intentions. Maybe the trees were torturing themselves, wickedly twisting their branches to set a warning for us that in the end of the path, which was flickering in the beams of our flashlights, the darkness was waiting. Joyce looked really nervous. He was haunted by their rustles and it made him mad. His hand that was clutching a flashlight was swinging like some kind of pendulum with a glowing demonic eye. Wait, I can't really picture that. I mean, flashlight lights don't have that feeling, you know? I mean, the light is just light. It's not a scary light like red light or something like that. As the flashlight was only uncovering things lurking in the darkness, and that I couldn't immediately burn his phantom enemies alive. What? Oh, okay, so like using it as a weapon, it scared him even more. Okay. I heard a strange sound and raised my head to see that it was just a crow. The beam of light ran through the black feathers, and the crowd merged with the night. I am the only one who actually knows what the darkness is hiding, but I am still scared. My fears are not that simple. It is not what you feel when your reflection refuses to obey. The illusions in the bathroom mirror can scare the shit out of me. That's like a scene from how is this the movie of Amityville? There's a scene in which the guy is on the bathroom taking a peek on the mirror. I think it was the guy, and suddenly the reflection making some weird shit like hurting itself. It is just not enough. What really scares me is that the plan could fail. When you follow the untrodden path, you are always on thin ice. I feel like I'm lost in a bottomless ocean, searching for a shark to ask if the human flesh is delicious. Do you really want to talk to a shark, Ashley? I wonder whether or not I'm still sane. The weak beam of light was sliding along the path full of fake leaves. Then suddenly something on the ground caught my eye. Okay, is that dead crow? Maybe the one I had seen earlier, nobody knows. Its eyes were sparkling in a beam of light. It was staring at me, and that gave me the creeps. It's just that dead birds I've seen much worse in horror movies. Do you often see dead crows in horror movies? Pretty often, yeah. Why do you ask? We recently watched a movie, and in the beginning the dudes ran into dead crows in the forest just before the massacre began. Also, are we going to run into a murder or something of some sorts? It would be scary if instead of live stream it was live stream. It reminded me of those days that I was in prison in mental hospital. Okay. Oh, so she was in the hospital. Okay. The staff didn't neglect their everyday duties, and the doctors regularly visit me to ask only one question: how are you doing today? Actually, a tape recorder in repeat mode asking how are you will be just the same. It's like the tape therapist wouldn't even say the words or say anything else. Perhaps he already knew how I was, or he didn't care. Anyhow, every time he asked me, my answer was the same: silence. I only saw with the same article torn from the newspaper about my family burned alive in a car accident. That crowd reminded me of the very first ink blot. What? I knew the exact spot where the rest corroded them, and the train got off the track. People in it started screaming in panic and hitting their heads. So it's like very bad things happen to this person. Like it's following her, like she's cursed or something. That's why I chose to focus on our way. I was afraid to lose path because it was like a thin tightrope that was saving me from falling into the void where evil spirits were crying my name. You need to calm down to pull yourself together, Ashley. You have to be ready when the game begins. Seems like I buried my head into sand too deeply, but fortunately, a rough male voice took me out. Stop fooling around. I already got goosebumps and we are not in the house yet. Why are you afraid of Powerhouse? I'm pretty sure you are the fastest among us. Among us all, and even if we run into a serial killer in the freaking house, you will be able to run away. Okay. Right, the killer will curve my nervous... What? As I put on a couple... What? Why would she say that? I don't understand. I won't even glance at the cake. Everyone laughed, but Martin started to comfort his girlfriend. Wait. She's actually his girlfriend? by telling her that she had a nice figure. I grinned. She really was a slim girl and just wanted to be in the spotlight, as always. But today nothing will save her, I look forward. Unexpectedly, I found myself ahead of everyone and didn't even remember how I left them behind. It was as usual as summer rain and as sudden as snow is in the beginning of July. I had to be first, I need to be first. Okay. Mysterious forces were guiding me to that place. I was just a fish caught on the hook of curiosity pulling me into the fisherman. Every new location had its own atmosphere. When I was wandering along the halls of the inoperative factory, I felt like I was trapped in the black hole of sorrow. Let's save. Here. Oh, no. It's here, okay? Later we will go back and check what happens if we say yes. The wet windows of the abandoned hospital were crying with raindrops of various shapes, with constantly changed and drew enormous pictures as if invented by infinite imagination. Okay. Eventually I saw it. I guess it was a fateful moment, so I wanted to have a proper look at it. At first I saw contours behind the dense pine needles. It was like a shadow, but then some significant parts of the building started to make out. We were quite far away from it, but I noticed that just for a moment the lights on the first floor turned on. And then one more time, just like a lighthouse. Is it a house or my imagination? If I saw or heard something odd, I would think that it was crazy, and it would be more casual than any other things going on in my life. I can't say yet whether the house is a friend or an enemy. Of course, its purpose is clear to me, as it always was, regardless of location or building, but despite its purpose, maybe this house decides for itself. I can't explain why, but somehow it is alive, all the places were. They became alive for me because things just couldn't be so simple when someone like me is involved. Anyway, if I stick to the plan, this house will play nice. Or not. It might be a treacherous stable hiding the delicious candies inside the hungry jaws of doom. The house gazed at me with its legless windows. They were dark like the eyes of the blind, but I knew that it watched me very carefully. Out of the blue, a harsh voice broke down this strange connection between us. Now I knew that I wasn't the only one who was looking at the house, which meant that it saw us all. Wow, this damn thing is huge. Not bad, Grace. How did you find it? Don't fool yourself. You might think it was hard to discover such a place, but the house stands right in the glade. I bet some naughty local children ran around the house pretending to be a ghost hunters or something. Could that crap with you? What's wrong? Everybody knows ghost stories are for children, am I right? I don't align with that. No one said a word. We continued approaching the house in that silence. I was not even my thoughts that I am when I suddenly heard the metal clip hit the wooden planks. And then I found myself standing in front of the entry door. Freedom, finally! She dropped off her backpack and stretched herself out of the porch. Tired already? Maybe we should go inside first? Looks like the door is locked. I don't think the ghosts are dying to meet us. Go to hell, Moron, and meet the damn ghost yourself. You are really paining in my eyes. I think there's a A missing here. You're so sweet, guys. Let me handle this stupid door. Hold on, big boy. Now what? I'm working on it. While these idiots were searching for the way in, I was picking the lock with my own skeleton key. Okay. I'm not sure how many doors it's already conquered. It was the same as picking tiger's teeth to see how its digestive works. Something moved. I couldn't see for sure, but it felt like the mouth of the door took a tight grip on the skeleton key with its metal tongue and bore it. What's with this? What? Seriously? I got mad and kicked the damn door. What the hell? The door was opening so slowly with a squeaky old-like crap sound. However, it resembled the screams of the tortured souls. I just couldn't bear it. Nice job. I approached the door. But I didn't open it. It opened itself. What's going on here? It was very dusty inside the house. Safe. Before continuing, I really want to know, I think as far as the game goes, we are going to end in the house some way or another, so I was thinking on maybe checking the way when... Wait. Let's see where the yes goes. Wait. So I asked myself, do you wish to save them, Ashley? That's it? Honestly, I don't really like the idea. Maybe we should just go to the amusement park that opened this week. We can go there right now. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter the choice here, really, because... After all, we are going to end in the house, right? But I just want to see what's the difference upon arriving this way. And maybe continue where we left off, in the no path. It's only 8 p.m. and it's a birthday party, after all, not a funeral. It's whatever you decide, Grace. But I think we can even take your little brother with us, but we should go to the highway and call Ella first to make sure that she doesn't drive to the empty house. Oh, I really miss him. Can he really go? Oh, what the hell's going on here? Of course they were asking. They didn't know that her brother had been kidnapped by me. What? What? So Ashley kidnapped Grace's brother in order to get them all into the house? However, I changed my mind. I am sick and tired of being controlled. Being a pawn does not suit me. But I love the idea about the house. I bet it will be cool to stay there for a night, don't you agree, guys? Who wants to go to the amusement park? To save everyone, well, almost everyone, there was an accident in the park. Grace fell from great height and crashed to death. Martin was taken away by the ambulance. For some reason, he kept shouting, "It must have been me. This is mine. Did he really love her so much that he was ready to die instead of her? But is that so? You decide." Also, actually we did make the good choice of not saving everyone, you know, like... At least we know now that Ashley has the little brother kidnapped. That bit of information, I think it's important. So let's see. It was very dusty inside the house. Looks like the ghosts aren't very hospitable. Everyone laughed except Joyce. He gave Kate a significant look. I think everyone knows that you don't believe in such shit. Can you please stop? What's wrong? Darkness is so scary. Am I right, big boy? Come on. I'm just teasing you. It's fun. Yeah, no. Let's erase this, right? Yes. But it's not like that, so you tell me, what can hide behind the shadow curtains? If it's not a ghost or a phantom, then what is it? It isn't my fear, it is a freaking mental disorder. The name is nyctophobia. Wait, so... She kidnapped a brother, but these people also have mental issues like her? Like Ashley? Probably? Yeah? Is that it? Make sure that your flashlight is not dead, or you'll be in trouble. Don't even count on mine, okay? Everyone laughed again. There was no need in flashlights anymore. The glowing eye of the full moon illuminated the house pretty well. When we were outside, it surely was dark. It was very strange. Those freaking tricks again. Though it looks like it wasn't a big deal for anyone except me. Even though the candles peeked out from literally every corner of the room, I think everyone thought it was Ray's joke or something. This place aroused my curiosity and I wanted to explore it a little bit. There were few pictures hanging on the walls. To be exact, some of them had fallen and were laying on the floor like dead rats, like with twisted paper tails. I saw no mirrors in the room, thank God, but it was only the first floor, still I'm glad. Houses are like narrators of people's lives made to tell the stories of their owners. And this one was choking on dust and death. This armchair looked like really convincing, okay? It was old and fractured, but I still knew that its appearance was a lie. Even the carpet was old and shabby for every second of its existence. I was aware of those tricks, and I knew I had little time. I took the cell phone out of my pocket and looked at the display. I saw that the connection was lost and that it was already 8 p.m. The clock was ticking. Ella should turn up soon. I hope she will find the house. At least I drew her a map. While exploring the room with a fireplace, I found boxes full of candles. I smiled wryly. We will need them later. And of course there was the book. It is most important item. I just don't know how to do it without some extraordinary stuff. Of course, I was not amateur in that kind of cuisine. You could call me the chef of the kitchen, I guess, so I knew it from A to Z. I looked at the others. They were all wearing the same smiling faces except Joy. This poor idiotic creature, who wanted to blow Grace's skirt up. Literally. Sadly for him, it's not going to happen. Ever. The girls have already prepared their sleeping bags and spread some blankets on the floor. Okay, so let's get this straight. Ashley kidnapped Grace's brother in order for Grace to take all of their group friends into this house. And she has drawn a map for another girl. I just forgot her name though. Ella. Yeah, Ella. So they're probably going to play a trick, you know, that they're going to try to scare them or something, probably. And something's going to go wrong. I can feel it. The kids have already prepared the sleeping bags and they spread some blankets on the floor. The scary house was slowly turning into some kind of warm, lovely nest. But I rushed to conclusions. The strands of fear caught us on its web when we saw a straw doll on the sofa. Oh, it's pretty. Hello, guys. This is Annabelle, right? Her patterned eyes pierced us through as if staring at our souls. Somewhere behind the skin there was a hole full of screens which couldn't reach our mouths. So they find it scary or creepy, unnerving? I don't know. The apple of her eye was black, like a rotten dead fruit, and the flickering hellfire of the candles made the scene more satanic. Like, oh yeah, it's a broken doll, but hey, it's satanic because it's dark and there are candles lighting up. I don't know. Joy nearly shit bricks when he saw this evil thing. The guy made a very strange screaming-like sound. Kate just couldn't miss the joke. She took her cell phone out of the pocket and her fingers started to dance on the phone keypad. Suddenly she began a made-up dialogue, pretending there was someone on the other end of the line. Hello, is this the mother of one weak straw doll? Waiting to know? Good. Tell your child to stay out of the light because she's too scary for our little Joy. So Kate is a mean girl. You know, the typical star, as in she has to be center of attention and everything. Your girl scared him to death, you know. Go to hell, guys. Enough with this canny shit for one evening. Yash rushed to the sofa and grabbed the straw doll. Give me a hand, man. Light it up. Oh, so you're going to set the doll on fire. Marty gave his lighter to Joy, and this idiot threw the doll into the fireplace with her hair set on fire, but the flame died immediately. Yeah, that means she's cursed or possessed. The damn witch, why don't you just perish? You're a real idiot. It's a doll, not a paper sheet. You need to light the fireplace first. We can use books or newspapers. Everyone glanced at me in surprise. Well, there are always some books in a house. It's an ordinary thing. We could search for them. Phew, I almost got cuffed, of course. I knew the books were here. I know everything about this place. There was a playroom on the second floor, kitchen on the ground floor, and 2 bathrooms. I feel like I'm going to forget the layout. And it's going to be important later on, probably. I was connected to this house and I could almost hear squeaking mice gnawing its beating heart behind the walls. But it was only a strange delusion living in my mind. These morons looked in every corner of the house but found nothing, so it was my turn. Here they are, keys, they are heavy. Joy approached me and took the books. Congratulations, Miss Ashley, I'm appointing you the Master of Doll Inquisition now. Thanks a lot. I faked a clumsy smile that almost turned into disgust. Where are you going? It's time to punish the designer. Maybe you can deal with this on your own. I wonder what's on Ashley's mind. Like, why is she orchestrating all this? There's something there that she knows and is not telling, even if she's almost the voice of the narration, you know? I mean, we're all watching her point of view. I don't know. Don't be a bust, it's just a joke. You're the justice, make the evil door pay. He handed me a lighter. If it were not for the rules, I would beat him hard. Okay. I set fire to one of the beds and threw the book on the pile of other books. They turned to ashes in seconds, but it all was still in flames. I was watching her face turning black in the bright scarlet flame. Tongues of fire played with the stitches of the doll's face, and for a moment I saw her wicked smile. I heard agonized screams. In my hand there was something, a phone. On the other end of the line, tires rubbing against the ground, grinding of metal, bones cracking, front window smashed into pieces. I feel shards of glass stuck in my neck. They pierced my chest and my heart. Maybe the explosion turned their limbs off. Maybe it was a meteor falling from the sky, or they were buried alive by some psycho. It doesn't matter. They are dead. Dead. I can't stand it anymore. I relived this nightmare over a million times. Okay, so this is probably a memory, but they are telling us because she said that she was in the psychiatric, but she also said that the psychiatric is not more, like they closed it. They abandoned the place. And her saying that she relived this nightmare over a million times, it means that there was some... At first I thought it was time travel, but it seems that it might have just a flashback, a very big, long flashback. As he's telling us this story. It still doesn't explain why she kidnapped the kid. So, we'll have to figure it out. I relived the day when it was all gone. Without knowing it, I touched the tooth which I was always carrying in my pocket. It was some kind of ritual, but not as useless as most of them. It was more than effective. For a moment, sorrow in my eyes changed into coldness. Seriously, what's wrong with her? My fingers released the tooth and I looked at Joy. Satisfied? Yeah, but you're the sinner like everyone else. Okay. That's why you should be punished. I'll turn you on the minute I turn off the lights in... That's disgusting in so many ways. Jay didn't give me a chance to evade his lightning kiss. I almost died of disgust as his tongue touched my cheek like maggot lurking in the corpse. His lips were as cold as dead man's. I guess I'll pass. I'd rather confess my sins. I smiled wryly and wiped his icy doubts from his skin with my sleeve. Actually, there's one thing you are right about. Everyone sins. Joyce shrugged his shoulders and began unpacking his things. It's present giving time. The girl opened her backpack and took out a book with a colorful ribbon on. Take it, beautiful. It's for you. Thanks, cutie. Oh yeah, look, yes, this is my clone. I always wanted to read the biography of Scott Malcolm on one of the greatest guitarists. Youth was next. I thought that if you liked their last album, you must check out this. Grace took the CDs and hooked Joy. She slapped his bad heart. The keys to the house in Sky... What? The keys to the house in Skywood Ward Lane 65 tinkle like a ringing bell. That's all you get, big boy. Joy was a little embarrassed. I gave her earrings. They were pretty cheap. I bought them on sale. Thanks. Martin left the house. Through the window I saw him smoking. He didn't even try to take his pack of smokes out of his pocket on the way here. Maybe if he smoked near Gates, she will order him to swallow the cigarettes one by one. Lit up. When Martin came back, he took a bracelet from his bag and whispered something. I bought it because it was beautiful and cheap, of course, but it has the Japanese hieroglyphs, which mean happiness and money. Hieroglyphs? Why? Hieroglyphs? What? So maybe it will work fine for you. Cool, nice thingy. All of a sudden, Martin put the bracelet on Grace. It cut her wrist with a loud click. Now it was time to eat the cake, but Ella was still on her way, so everyone felt the breeze. Someone suggested playing cards, and everyone agreed. In fact, I didn't know who it was because my mind was focused on other kinds of issues. I had more important things to do. I approached the book that was lying on the mantelpiece and took it. No one noticed the book except me. It was out of human sight. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? Hieroglyphs are... I don't know what they mean by Japanese. They were probably talking about kanji, but it makes it sound like it was ancient, like paintings on the wall, you know, kind of. It's weird. Even I did not see it, I only felt it at first. When I opened the book, I looked at the strange symbols and didn't make any sense until I touched the tooth in my pocket. I understood everything. While I understood. As in tooth. Okay, very bad joke. I'm sorry, that wasn't me. While consuming the symbols, I almost tore some of the pages off. Finally, thousands of letters and words formed the phrase. L'amors Ophira? Well done, Ashley. This phrase was like a good old friend to me. That sounds like a Harry Potter spell or something like that, you know? Like, you are expecting Harry to say that? I lost count of how many times this phrase came up in my mind. Yeah, she's probably a Harry Potter fan. And still I couldn't remember its true self, full of inconceivable power. If I just spoke the mysterious words without the book, nothing at all would happen. I'm sorry, I'm still picturing Harry Potter saying so, or Hermione saying this, like, a new spell, she's unlocking a door or something. I took my phone out of the pocket and looked at the display. It was 10 p.m. already. The time passed quickly and the game was about to begin. Will it be a fair one? This question has always tortured me. I can't say if I'm doing the right thing or not. I always doubt. Some parts of me knows the answer, but I don't know which part it is. While I was reading the book, the others continued to play cards. Both Joyce and Martin called me to join them a couple of times, but I always refused. They didn't ask why. I think they were just playing their own game with me. She's speaking fanfiction. That's why she's alone on her own. I mean, they are playing and meanwhile she's reading some kind of weird fanfic. I finished reading the book, so it's time to make my turn. I need to come up with something and fast to hurry things up. I can't just leave this to Grace. Even the fact that I am allegedly holding her brother hostage doesn't mean I can fully trust her. And suddenly, Luck smiled at me. I saw George sitting at cards. The trick was simple. He filled his hand with trumps. Let's save. So yeah, we knew because there was a very short path that dividing the story at the beginning, that she's holding Grace's brother, like, well, more like She kidnapped her brother in order for Grace to take all of the friends into this house. So because we are watching this crazy girl point of view, we don't know if she's going to murder or scare them or whatever she's going to do. And because she knows too well the layout of the house, it seems that something has been planned, but I don't know what is it. I just need to prove it, so I just wait for the right moment. I can see things. I see. I bet you have trumpets and Jack. Stop being ridiculous. I don't believe you are psychic or something. The rumors at the school, they are all bullshit. I came right to him and looked into his eyes. I was looking at him with a sadistic smile, like he was a bug that I was going to squash. So was your cards. It looked pathetic. This pompous joke was trembling all over. Actually, it was pretty funny. Or it wasn't. Suddenly I realized that my decisions and actions started confusing me more and more. In the beginning, I was completely sure that I was absolutely right. It was like using a manual that was telling me how to win lotteries with 100% chance. But screw this shit. For me, it was as usual as breakfast in morning. Of course, I want to return to that factory and repeat the whole thing one more time, but not as much as I wanted it a month ago, when I was almost maniacally laughing looking at the woman who was trying to not fall, clutching the elevating cabin of the roller coaster. Yeah, I think there's a mix of memories here, and it's making the character confused, and it's making us confused as well, because they said at the beginning that they were going to the amusement park. So, you know, at the very beginning, we were in the forest, and they said to save them or to not save them. And to not save them lead us to the house. And to save them, it was that we went to the amusement park, and they went into the roller coaster, and Grace died because she fell, and the other guy was hospitalized. So yeah, that was a bad ending in the very beginning part of the game. So they mentioning this, I mean, see mentioning this now means that might have happened, probably, but the memories are confused, or she's imagining or fantasizing with this. I'm not sure. It's like she's mixing up all of that. Excuse me. Oh no. Okay. Just show them. Martin hit Lois' hands and the drums fell on the floor. You asshole, give me my $20 back. It wasn't me, she set the whole thing up. Are you kidding me? I was miles away from you. You couldn't know. You just look at my cards. You knew that I had these drums. I wasn't cheating, prove that you are a psychic. Looks like Joyd was going mad. Obviously I pretended that his words hurt me. Sid, it was so hard not to gloat. He was going straight into my trap, you fool. My feelings turned into some strange mix, and it was difficult for me to understand what I actually felt. It's like, are you happy? Are you sad? I don't know. Maybe I froze for a moment, that's why I yelled one more time. If I continue to lose the connection to reality like this, they'll definitely think I'm crazy. Come on, Ashley, keep it together. I touched the tooth like it was giving me some strength and smiled weakly. Prove it. It's not as easy as you think. Yeah, you're right. I could get a peek at your cards, but I didn't. What number from 1 to 1000 I'm thinking of? Yes, it seems like these guys really believe in my abilities, which, by the way, leave much to be desired. For now, at least. That's not interesting at all. It must be something more difficult. What color is Kate's underwear? Everyone ignore his... Everyone ignore this question. Seriously, what's wrong with the guys in this game? They are too childish. Summon the spirits. I heard lots of psychics can talk to them. Yeah, it will be cool. Yes, you are like Ella, but I agree that'd be great. I guess it's not a very good idea. I prepare everything. It was really difficult not to laugh. They were so ridiculously naive. It was so funny to see them like this, but there was something more. The mystery of the whole thing, it inspired me in some way. Playing with fire always intrigued me. I knew something unspeakable. Sorry, I had kind of a stroke there. Exciting and terrifying at the same time was about to happen. Knowing this raised my spirits. Even more so that it wasn't my fault. They themselves asked me to do it, nobody forced them. It would probably be better to do everything wrong, to end this madness once and for all, but not today. This fool inspired me. He made me think it was love full of rotten memories. I felt like I had fallen to the bottom of a huge can filled with maggots. Yeah, I feel like everything's going to go wrong very fast. Like, it's going to escalate quick. They were crawling into my ears, and I heard them twitching inside, heard their whispering of death. Perhaps Joyce will be the first. Wait, so she's planning on murdering... I thought she was going to scare them or something like that, because she's waiting for this Ella person. This moment of uncertainty has always turned my curiosity into a hungry beast, waiting for the meat in its bloody bowl, given to me by the hand of fate. I dusted off the old handkerchief that was lying on the floor and began placing candles on it very carefully, like a caring mother who is taking her precious children from the kindergarten. 13 little children, short and tall, plump and thin, but all hungry. They were sleeping in my handmade cradle, which swung as I carried it to the ritual room. I called this room by the name the moment we entered the house. It was kind of sad that I couldn't examine it properly because of the pile of memories and thoughts that followed me to the main door. It was pretty dusty in here. It is obvious that a house like this had seen its best days and now it was old, abandoned and forgotten. In some corners of the hall, I could see the spider webs. Gross. I really wanted my working place to be just a bit cleaner. Before I started my preparations, I knocked off on the wall and a broom fell into my hands. She got what she wanted. Now she can clean the house, right? I mean, it's like complaining about the dust and then suddenly a broom falls into her hands. I will be like, okay, I will clean up. Suddenly I felt very angry. What the heck, it would be a lot easier for her to do this. I threw the broom to the wall, but it vanished before I reached the obstacle. What? The floor became much cleaner. That's how it's done. It took out a piece of chalk. This is my main tool for tonight. Of course I didn't like crawling on the floor, but it was usually done this way. I like it using the wall in the asylum much more than the traditional way. I tried some new things back there, but unfortunately everything ended badly. At least I stayed alive. In fact, I didn't use the chalk too much. There were no tangled symbols. It was just a huge circle in the center of the room, and of course the star. It just wouldn't work without it. I didn't think it had any real power. I mean, you can see it almost everywhere on a new album of a rock band, for example, but it looks like it's worth something. The candles were next, which is my favorite part. Last time, when the drawing was on the wall, it was fascinating to put matches into the cracks, but I think it really mattered and eventually everything was almost ruined. So I'd rather use candles this time, but first, I had to draw circles in the center of each star between thick white lines. Wait. Each star, like Sidrio stars, are on the big main star? Is that it? So that's where she's placing the candles? Is that it? Carefully, smoothly, and only one of them I scratched out, making a terrible sound like the chalk was some kind of cloud. Finally, the picture was done. I put every candle on its exact spot, as if arranged a piece on the board. Pans went first, as I called them. They embodied every person in the house, and only one piece could become the queen. No, I already was the queen, but had to fake my unimportance as to not cause any suspicion. The fattest candle was meant for Kate, as she was obsessed with her figure. I see what she did. Mine was slim and beautiful, of course, but I had to break it into two pieces following the rules. Then they were put in the center of the star. Now it was time for the main players to join the game. Players, no prayers. Since I didn't know whether they are bishops, rooks, or knights, I couldn't think of the right position for them, so I just put the pieces in front of the ones that were already in the star. Every candle meant for the main player was placed carefully to the candles embodying the people in the house, where the reflections through somehow twisted, as I just couldn't find one as fat and ugly as the Kate's candle. Everything was done, but there was still one candle left. I knew it was significant, but I had no idea who it was meant for. When I was in the asylum, I bought a significant chess piece near the ground pound and we got into big trouble. I look at Joyce's candle. I hope my intuition is correct. That asshole, most likely it's him. Suddenly candles lit up the room. What the hell is going on here? No. Just my imagination. It was headlights. Joyce came into the room and whistled. Well, you're totally out of your mind. You completely lost it. So this is the guy that's scared of his own shadow. If he's the first victim, it's going to be interesting as to how it's going to turn out. Okay. You think the drawing of the freaking pentagram that's always on the cover of horror movies will do the trick? Martin entered the room next. Kate followed him. Yeah, nice room. The scary school is the only thing missing. Wow, that's so cool. I really hate this Kate character. I'm flattered. The door half opened and Ella entered the house. Before she joined us, she was walking around the room where we had thrown about our backpacks. Will anybody help me bring my things from the car? Oh, so this is Ella. Okay. She looks like the sister to my clone, to Grace, you know? Ella peeked in the room, saw the huge chalk drawing and got excited. Wow! Ella came closer to my creation with caution, as if she was scared that the floor would break under her hard steps, even though she was light as a feather. Is it what I think it is? We are going to speak with death, are you in? Of course, I always wanted to try this, that's just incredible, looks like I'm just on time. Is everything ready? Yeah, actually, if everyone's ready, we can start right now. Maybe we should eat first, hanging out with the death is scary and shit. And moreover, I'm hungry, he's trying to skip so hard. It's funny. Yes, right. Oh, so you believe in ghosts? I don't. I used to hate eating the tasty cake that Ella bought us. Well, he's probably right. I don't want to eat it watching his corpse rot on the floor. Wait, so Sir really is planning killing him? So she's really thinking about murder. When Martin and Joyce brought the alert gates into the house, each of us took a piece. Of course, the biggest one went to Joyce, and I got the smallest. He was consuming it like it was his last meal. I knew he was nervous, so nervous it was hard not to grin. Grace tripped over someone's back, and her piece of cake almost plopped down to the floor. That's going to be a very bad luck. I just realized that it's not showing in the stream. Hold on. No. Okay. Let's leave it like that. Yeah, I was like, why is not showing in the stream? I guess if it had happened, it would have looked like a human brain, juicy with blood. Why? How does that cake looks like? Martin managed to grab the cake with his plate. You look really pale, is everything okay? Yeah, I just feel dizzy, that's all. Okay then. Martin smiled nicely, but I guess his girlfriend didn't like it at all. What's that on your face, a grin? You asshole? Want to screw her that badly? Oh, sweetie, it's not what you're thinking. Yeah, this was man, right, baby? Grace painted Joyce's face with cake and went to the ritual room. This makes it hard not to chuckle. Finally, everyone took their places. Finally, everyone's going to die. We have only waited for 1 hour until the first deaths, I guess. Grace sat close to Martin with Kate on the other side of him. Jade sat near me. Even knowing what fun was coming next, his gaze made me feel sick, as though his eyes were taking my clothes off, because he's a pervert. I wonder, is there any limit to his blasphemy? Pierce a finger with something sharp and drip some blood on the candle. My words sound ominous and terrifying. Are you kidding me? That's bullshit. Is it really necessary? I clenched my hand into fist. It is. Okay, if nothing happens, you will spit blood for a week. Why? How terrible can you be to do that? Okay. I pretended to be scared but was not sure if he bought it. However, he smiled at me unconfidently. Suddenly I really wanted to shout out, "You will die, fools, you, and you, all of you." That's also from a movie, right? I think it was some kind of horror movie. There's been until now several references to other media. I mean, at the beginning there was a very big reference to the Twilight Zone, and another one I forgot. I will have to rewatch the stream later. But yeah, I can't tell which movie it is, but it somehow rings a bell. But I tell myself otherwise they'll understand that I'm involved in this, and it will become 1,000 times harder to do my job. Muttering some curses, Joyce, however, pierced his finger with a needle and touched the candle. Martin was next. He touched the candle too, and the scarlet blood drop went down. Ella was really nervous and excited. I feared that the girl could have a heart attack because of... You are scared that the girl could have a heart attack, but you are going to kill her? That doesn't match. Right? I mean, it's like, oh no, she might have a heart attack, but hey, you are going to die anyway. Ella pressed her finger so hard that the blood spilled in different directions. Oh. When all the candles devoured the souls of the mortals, I continued commanding the army of the doom. Martin, just like my actual assistant, was giving his lighter to others one by one to light up the candles. Why aren't all the candles lit up? I shushed at her. The last thing I wanted in her comments, and at such a critical moment. Close your eyes, but I could see that Joyce's eyes were half open, so that I can take them away. That's like a mother, like if you don't go to sleep, someone's going to snatch you. Yet immediately closed both of his eyes. The only thing we heard was the whispering of the candle flame. Oh, the Harry Potter word, okay? I am Morse Aufira. The wind howled outside. Is this repeating? I am Morse Aufira? Who said that? Suddenly, all the lit up candles went out, and shivering flame was devoured by darkness. The ones that were sleeping woke up and showed up, extended their fire tongues. The same happened to the candles in the center. Then a mysterious female voice whispered and disappeared. Wow, so cool. Was that the deed? What else could it be? Nothing happened. It's just a trick with a voice. And you made the candles light up and then blew them out. I saw everything. I knew that he couldn't see that. You're a liar. Don't come any close to me. Okay, let's calm down, guys. Jed, who wanted to rush at me, now stopped. Seems like he was a little afraid of Martin. Did this guy just step in between? Have I misjudged I can't say this. Misjudged him. I heard the voice too, and I'm sure that it wasn't Ashley. It was the sound from a tape recorder. I heard something. There was some noise. Is he right, Ashley? I looked down at the floor and gave the cell phone to Martin. That's right. He pressed the play button. The recording, Aufira. And then some noise, just like he had said, her real voice. Nice performance. You almost managed to make me believe in that bullshit. The trick with the candles was cool though, but I remember the harsh flash of the flames. You didn't light up the candles one by one. You lit them all at... What? You lit them all at once. Are you kidding? But you figured it all out. We'll talk about it later. Now I need to smoke. He came up to his back, took the pack of smokes and went out. Through the window I saw him, staying near the car. He was blowing the cigarette smoke to the night sky. We hadn't finished yet. Just went out of the room and I heard the chewing-like sound. This guy began greedily consuming what's left of the cake. So he's actually the fat guy. I sneaked up behind him and quickly sat on the old chair to make terrifying creak. Wait, so she's planning on murdering them, but all of it, it's fake? I don't get it. Judith was choking on the cake and a piece of it dropped from his hand. He looked around. He was scared to death until he saw me. His fear immediately turned into wrath. Oh, what? I'm going to freaking kill you. I guess that for him I was a player from the opposite rugby team that he wanted to take away the ball from my hands. So he jumped at the chair that I was sitting on. I'm sorry if my reading is bad right now. I mean, I've been reading non-stop for 1 hour. so yeah, I'm not used to talk so much. I'm drying up. Okay, let's continue. Fortunately, I quickly dodged the attack. The literally unseen chair somehow stood against his massive body and didn't break. Judith then fell into the floor. Martin returned to the house with a cigarette still in his mouth. Looks like something urgent. He was searching for something with his eyes. He definitely didn't come back because of the noise. However, he looked pretty calm like always. Martin took out his cigarette with his fingers, threw it to the ground, and stomped out. He pointed to the ceiling. There, I saw something in the window on the second floor. Yay, the ghost! Yay, the ghost! They are here to kill us! Yay! This is quite an story right here, right? With cries of joy, Ella ran up the stairs. Yet noticeable turned pale. Interesting. Hello, Roro! Everyone rushed after the girl with the ponytails. The shadows slid along the massive window touching. Ella's car in the yard. Okay, and the headlights were still on. The girl didn't even bother to turn them off. Seems like the mysterious story excited her so much that she forgot about such simple things. The car was staring in front of it, and didn't care about what was going to happen within the walls of this house. I also noticed that the first floor windows were high enough to break the neck of a couple of ribs if you fell out. Well, it's not really scary so far, it's just a messed up story. I mean, just can tell you that it's very weird because it's confusing it's confusing at most. It has the creepy vibe, like the dark, I mean, like a dark surrounding the story, but so far it's not scary because it's just, I don't know, I would say it's just confusing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there will be any jump scare or anything, but I don't know, so far I'm quite confused because she said she's going to kill them, but then she later said it was all a joke, so I don't know, really. We went even higher up. The stairs up to the second floor. Oh. There was something on the wall, a message for us. Bloody letter said, "Let's play." Oh, maybe the ghost who you saw through the window did that, Martin. Are you kidding me? Ghosts don't have physical form. They can write on the walls with blood. That's some Hollywood bullshit. I think so too, must be stupid kids. But they are missing a word here, right? It says when. Wait, let's save. Yes. But when we were here, searching for something to light the fireplace, the message wasn't here. Oh, so they already went to this room and there wasn't any message. That means the pranksters are still here. Of course I knew it was just a trick, comparing with what was going to happen after it. The bloody line, like a silent guide, led us to the room without any doors. The funny wallpaper told me that it was a child's room. We entered the nursery. I'm not sure I remember this room, because you didn't come to this floor, but both Joyce and I did. Thank God, this shit gives me the creeps. She pointed at the unusual toy mouse with slender long legs. Oh, that's funny. The thing was sitting on the chair looking through the window with its tiny eye pets. This room looks like someone lives here. It's just sick, so cool. I can't with this Ella character. It's just so funny. She's like, oh yay, the ghost, yeah, we are going to die, yay! She's too much. I thought so too, but that's bullshit. This is so intriguing. Oh, I have an idea. Wait a second. She rushed down the stairs. There was a complete silence for a moment. Then we heard the approaching sound of stomping footsteps. Let's try this, shall we? Ella gave me an infamous Ouija board, or as the internet named it, Luigi board. She has prepared for this quite well. It seems like I shouldn't have worried about the ritual after all. She's made me do that under the gun anyway. You live only once, right? Are you out of your mind? I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm interested. I guess now, or only for this precise moment when we sat down in the center of this strange chiseled room, everyone believes in ghosts. Actually, you know, it's not really that creepy, this room. I mean, it's quite cute. Maybe because it's abandoned and probably hasn't been taken care. But, you know, it's just the feeling that it's not used anymore. Even Kate, though, of course, she would never admit it. If a phantom hand of a baby touched my skin now, I'd flinch. Obviously, I'm afraid of ghosts because I know what they are capable of when they are not in the mood. In the room there were not many toys, but still. The room must be abandoned. Hey, you hear me? Abandoned, goddammit. There was a little bed with a teddy bear on it near the wall. A dollhouse was standing on the floor with a small zoo near it, and a pillow was left nearby. Okay. By the opposite wall there was a little nightstand with a child's makeup. Wait, makeup? Children wear makeup? Wait, I'm kind of processing what kind of parents are giving their child makeup. I don't understand. And the mirror above. Oh, Ro, don't worry. We already get rid of Annabelle. She appeared upon arriving to the house, so... So fast summary, they set her on fire. Also, she didn't have boobs, so we are okay. I hate mirrors, and if you take a cozy seat on the chair at the table for the tea party, you'll be able to see the forest landscape. Let's begin. I touch the planchet and start moving it around the board. This is quite a weird wiki board, actually, on how the letters are scattered. But sure, why not? Everyone gravy too, and I suddenly felt like we were going to touch someone's gravestone right now. What's your name? Our hands moved slowly. We heard a quiet, eerie creaking sound. M A I mean A R Mary. Okay. So her name is Mary. Mario. Well, Mario is actually the male version of Mary, so yeah, it's very close. How did you die? Everyone gave him a judgmental look, but the planchet started moving. D A D. Oh, D? Oh, so it was her dad. Was it his fault? I don't like this. What am I thinking about? S E? I mean the other E? What? Sex. Shit, that's not funny as well. I almost shit bricks. Just burst out laughing. Wait, that's quite creepy. I mean, what the child is implying. Did you really think there was someone? That was me who wrote the message on the wall with the blood paint. I bought it in a joke shop for just like the lamp with the silhouette that you saw on the window. Yeah, but this is, you see, this is what I meant, wrote. Like, the story is very confusing because at first they are like giving you this information, and then they are later discarding it like it was all a joke. So where is the truth really? I think it's called the magic lantern. I thought it would be two separate tricks, but I got a really great combo. What a trickster, but how did you manage to fool us if you were here all the time? I set the lamp and went down after Martin. I knew he would want to smoke, so he would see the light in the window. Well, you planned it really well, Coleslaw. Cool show. Coleslaw. Yeah, that's what I mean, that they are giving us very harsh and very creepy information, and then later they are like, nah, it was a joke. Like, Ashley is thinking of murdering them, but she's later like, nah, I'm joking. So you're like, wait, are you actually joking, or is this truth? You don't really know. I think that's what they are trying to make you feel with this game, with the story, like you won't know for sure what's going to happen. I'm sure you're sick of getting annoyed with the fearful ghost stories. Ghosts do not exist, and if you meet one, tell him I said hello. He took the board from Ella's hands and threw it to the old chest with toys which fell off on its side. One by one, the blocks ominously and slowly rolled out from the darkness of the chest. Hello? They turned and span with their sharp and cold-blinking corners until the letters formed a word. Hello. Fear appeared on everyone's face. Yoth couldn't say a word. This fool was scared to death. What's happening? Why have you wasted such a good trick? You should have done this hello thingy first and then confessed. The word hello weakly flashed under the moonlight once more. That wasn't me. His eyes showed genuine fear. Everyone believed him. Jade, of course, is stupid, but he's not a complete fool. He couldn't try another trick after he cracked. This harmless greeting turned into something that made the blood crackle. Yeah, I'm really sorry that I'm reading it so badly with my voice is cracking even, because I've been non-stop reading and talking for 1.5 hours. I'm considering on ending the stream in half an hour and make a second part of the game. Okay. Yeah, I should hydrate myself. Get a drink. Everyone is staring at these letters as if they were the eyes of a killer that has a gun to their heads. It would be weird if the gun was aiming to their hands. Interesting, but weird. Now the veins weren't filled with blood but with freezing ice. The sharp and cold knife of truth was about to cut their world into pieces, and they will step into the new reality of madness. No one wanted to believe in it, but there was no doubt about it. No one wanted to see, but they couldn't look away. The cold wind touched their skin, squeezing their organs and making the cry burst from their throats. The cubes started twitching. Suddenly they rose into the air and floated like someone hung them by the strings. Oh! Is this Mary? A girl appeared before us. She was no more than 6 years old. Her light dress was like a leaf in the wind. Yeah, her clothes don't really match up with probably the time the house was, you know. The fear rip out the souls from our bodies. The girl was staring at us. No, she was staring at Kate. She was on the edge. She couldn't even scream. The fear locked her scream inside her as silent wagged and didn't let it out. Her face was a maze. It seemed that if she could shout, all of her organs would be spit out. The girl touched her lips with her finger and smiled. But then her dress began burning and she screamed. Her little hands were peeling the skin of her face. Small pieces of human leather was lighting up hello. The carpet was buried under the place and then the girl disappeared. Somehow we got back to our world. Our world. Way to kill the mood, NAYU! Yay! Even I was scared, but not because I'm afraid of ghosts. This thing reminded me about the car accident long ago, and it appeared to me that she was just mocking me. Everyone but Kate rushed down the stairs. She was standing with her eyes closed and repeating something as if it was a spell. No, how could it be you? You are dead. Dead. You. What are you talking about? Run! Martin grabbed her hand and together they ran down the stairs. Okay, so it seems that she probably killed a child? A girl? A little girl, probably? Is that possible? I wonder. We need to get out of here. Grace and the rest of us just started packing up in haste. They only took some things that were close. We must get to the car. Well, I warned you there could be consequences. Freaking consequences, you're crazy, Beats. You almost killed us all in that room. Wait, I remind you that they left the lights on the car on, so there is a big chance there is no battery on the car, so the car won't start. If they want to leave, they will have to run away on foot. Be careful. The killer appeared behind Joy and she was wearing the same dress as before she was burned alive. I'm pretty sure this girl died during the fire. I mean, Kate couldn't kill her with a flamethrower, right? Kate came to her senses. Looks like she realized how terrifying the situation was and wanted to run away as fast as she could. Wait, save. The reason I'm rewriting instead of saving in another file is because we are not given yet another option to see what will happen, so that's what I'm going to do. She rushed to the door, clutching her fashionable purse. I thought she had everything under control, but what if Kate runs away? I can't let that happen. Do I trust her? See, this is what I mean. Let's save right here. Yes. I grabbed Kate's hands. You aren't going anywhere. Let me go, you freak. Oh, wow. Okay. Excuse me, are you going to say something else? Okay, so nothing else happens, we just stand here and that's it? Not bad ending, just frozen in time or what? Should I put an auto? What's going on? She immediately took nail scissors out of her purse and pierces my eye. I shouted in pain and clung onto her sleeve tightly as if I wanted to tear it off. I tried to take the scissors out, but these bits stuck through my hand and my other eye was damaged. I screamed in pain. My eyes can be restored if I have. Will I have? The first soul had left the house and I heard the sound of someone starting an engine. Wow, they are really bad people. They are gone, but she will help me, won't she? We are Ashley in this story. I just need to draw the defense symbols. I started to crawl around on the floor searching for a piece of chalk. Blood was dripping down out of my empty sockets. My eyes were like bloody waterfalls. God, how painful. Where is it, damn? Here you are. Who is she? It was a childish voice. Oh, it's the kid ghost? I took the chalk and tried to scratch the floor with it. It was no use. I couldn't see what my hand was doing. It was not the chalk, the thing I clutched with my fingers. I touched the girl's nail and heard it laugh. The devil was laughing. She was laughing. But you can't. No. No. Come to me, Ashley. A child's arms hug me. I didn't get their souls, but at least you will be mine. You have lost your eyes, your allies, your mind, and even your soul. You won't go to heaven, you are not welcome there. And hell doesn't miss you either, because your soul is missing. But don't worry, you still exist somewhere, in the very darkness of silence, in the brightest world of pain, in her. Okay, let's trust her. Everything will be fine. I just need to trust her. If I start doubting her, then I won't be sure in anything at all. Finally, Kate got to the car. She began pulling the handle and her body shivered in fear, but the door wouldn't budge. Ella, throw me the keys! Ella threw the keys and they flew in Kate's direction, but the girl didn't catch them. They fell into the thick grass. The girl was feverishly searching the ground for salvation. Her face looked like as though she was digging into someone's innards with blood gushing from them. Her eyes were full of fear. Kate couldn't find the keys. They just disappeared. The girl pulled the handle hard once more, hoping that her guardian angel would open the door. Maybe she was too scared to run. But where could she hide from this living nightmare? The child's room with greetings from hell or to the darkest forest, no place safe. The dead girl in the dress was at the porch staring at Kate. Suddenly she raised her hand like a maestro of death and Kate screamed. In a second there was a huge explosion and the car blazed in the night. It was as loud as if it had tons of explosives in it. The mangled metal fell on the grass. The torn-away door was hanging on the tree like a hanged man. The bloody rain started to paint the scenery red. A human heart landed within inches of my foot. It nearly made me throw up. Everybody started screaming, but not because their friend was torn apart like a peanut. They were looking at the car leftovers from which innards a burning girl was crawling out. Yes, it was her. It was Kate, her skeleton actually. It was decorated with burned pieces of flesh like a New Year's tree with toys. She rushed to the guys and almost cut one of them. What is this thing? What have you done with Kate? Are you a fool or what? Get out of here! The footballer grabbed Martin's hand and pulled him straight to the house. Ella shut the door. What the heck was that? Everyone looked at me. Youth started shaking me so hard that I couldn't even say a word. And after Kate's nurse, I got real sick, so I almost threw up. What have you summoned, sweetie slap? I'll kill you. Let her go, now we have more important problems to deal with. I was surprised that Martin was so calm. What on earth must happen to make him worry? Probably he's so popular among the girls because of his nerves of steel, but he's pretty handsome too. Suddenly we heard a loud gnashing sound. Ella went to the door. Something was scratching it from the outside. Actually, everyone already knew what was there. The question was, how could it be? This is just sick. What happened to Kate was a mystery. Even I didn't have any explanation of this strange transformation. What can I say? I met the ghost with pyrokinesis for the first time ever. I was crushed by what I saw, and I was slightly deafened by the explosion itself. But this sound, it seemed to come from another world. Through the ringing in my ears, I heard this thing scraping my mind, so unbearable, as if it was cutting into my heart. I always had this part of the ritual, deliverance. Now at any moment something could go wrong. Look, this thing at the window. It's easy to break. We must hide it on the upper floors. Ella panicked and ran away from the window. But we still could hide in the woods and get to the highway somehow. She won't give us a chance. We can leave the house only as corpses. You got a better plan? Yeah, we killed the asshole. Oh, shit. But we don't even know what this is. Why hasn't it broke the window yet? It can't. The deadly creature was smashing the glass with its head painting it red, but it couldn't damage the window. The house is some kind of gates. You can't go in or out, only through the exit. Jade seemed to be more relaxed, but I'm still frightened. Looks like we are still safe here. Don't be happy yet, big guy. The thing is outside waiting for us to kill it. No, there is a better way. We kill the psychic girl. He pointed at me with his trembling finger, but I wasn't afraid of him. I was afraid of death. The hunt had begun. You wouldn't be scared of the maniacal fly in the spider web. Let's kill her. The thing came for her. I know it. She summoned it. You saw everything with your own eyes. Are you insane? I'm innocent, moron. You are the one who made me do it. How could I foresee this shit? I pointed at the window and realized that the creature wasn't there. It began scratching the door again. Help me, somebody. Oh my god, it's Kate Boyce. It's alive. Are you nuts? Did you miss the explosion? Did you miss her death? It just can't be her. Use your brain. No way, don't touch the door, idiot. But it was too late. The skeleton hand caught the girl's wrist through the door wide open. Gotcha! Martin took a baseball bat and rushed into the girl to hit the skeleton hand clutching Ella's wrist. I heard a loud crack. Someone just got their teeth in a real tough cookie. Martin fractured the creature's radius bone and it fell to the floor, smashed into pieces. That Kate tried to cut Ella's throat by the other hand, but Martin pushed the door and it cut off the monster's limb. We heard a loud shriek from the other side of the door. It was so loud that the glass should break into pieces. Then the bones of the floor turned into little bags. Ew, that was gross. They crawled to the door, got under it, and left the house. Where did you get that, dude? I thought that if we would be in the middle of nowhere, we should have something to defend ourselves. So the baseball bat could be useful, and it was. Thanks for saving me, but why are you so calm? Your girlfriend is a living corpse? That is strange. I agree, very indeed. Very very strange indeed. Do you know why I don't panic? Because we panic, we die, understand? Or do you think I have to do something with it? You are so cold-blooded, it isn't normal. I mean, you dated for months. She was cheating on me with Austin Blauser behind my back for weeks, okay? It was a slut. A slut dies, but I didn't want such a death for her. I mean, it was too much. So cut it off, will you? Why didn't you say anything, baby? I think you just wanted to scream me behind Kate's back. That's okay with me, you're cute. It was my revenge, and I think I just couldn't resist such a girl, sweetie. Okay, lovebirds, what should we do? We will kill you and this nightmare ends. You can't kill her. She's the only person who knows what's happening. Who else knows something about ghosts and monsters? Everyone was silent. I know some things. Even a handful of powder can be deadly. So let her start talking or I'll break her neck. So how do we kill it? It is not that simple. What is... be killed by this thing? Ashley, you must help us. It will be the best birthday present. What do we know? It can get inside and we can get out. I agree with Martin. We must kill it. How? I have no idea. Right now we were allies. We had something in common. We wanted to kill this thing. But the reasons were different. Though I still wanted to get out here like the others, that made me want it dead even more. That was the most important part of the ritual, otherwise all is in vain. I closed my eyes and saw myself standing on the floor covered with stone crumbs, saw the rays of the sun stretching to my eyes through the glass windows of the abandoned... I'm sorry guys, but I think I'm going to go grab some drinks. Okay? I'll be right back. I'm sorry. But my voice is killing me somehow. Be right back. I'm back. Wait, I didn't read that. Yeah, it was... Actually, I drank three glasses of water. And back with me 1 glass of water, so... Okay, I closed my eyes and saw myself standing on the floor covered with stone crumbs, saw the rays of the sun stretching to my eyes through the glass windows of the abandoned factory. I heard the howling of the steel pipes looking down at me like jets. Oh, it was okay. The machinery and tools were quiet. It was too quiet, so I felt their gaze upon my back every minute. They were watching me with genuine interest. What would she do next? My quiet voice rose upon the graves of silence. The sharp string of my voice cut the stitches out of my... The sharp string of my voice cut the stitches on my mouth. She stitched her mouth? And I could feel the death always and speechless rooms with my screams. So I asked her, how should I kill it? I'm afraid this time you are on your own. Her icy smile and demonic gaze made me feel goosebumps. But could she be blamed? It was the other she. And I didn't like the things that happened to her. She gave me the chance and I used the opportunity. I just had no choice. The other path was just a delusion on the road seeing points only in one direction. Even when I tore apart the monster's body and took the pacemaker out of these rotten guts and destroyed it, I still thought that it was my life and I can make things right. But my life already belonged to her. The choice was made. The game began. I was engulfed by the memories, but only for a minute. In a second, I already knew my next step. When ghost hunting, people often use amulets or spells because it is impossible to damage ghosts physically. They are kind of dead and not even here. They are the past that can be reached by the present, but I can. I have a spell that will just do the trick. That will give the ghost girl flesh for a moment, and the monster, and I had no idea what to do with it. This will be enough to finish the ritual successfully. I couldn't tell the guys how the ghost should be killed, tell about the object which connects the ghost to this world, because the plan could be ruined. I don't want them to pull the trigger of my gun. It's only my task. The materialization of a ghost is my first step, the assassination of the ghost is the second. But all of us must use the spell or it will be too suspicious. And by the way, the material enemy will give them hope to win. But hope only. They will be along my side so I can control them, so they won't be running from me or the ghost, and that is good. But of course, they couldn't kill it. She will grant flesh to the ghost if they cut out her name on their skin. I have an idea, but I am afraid you won't like it so much. I don't like it already, you can make it worse. She pierced me with her eyes. Her wish is that she could break my neck, as if I were a turkey to be cooked on Thanksgiving Day. In my eyes, she saw the reflection of herself torturing my body. Near the chains and gleaming blades, her brother was standing in blood asking, "Are you okay?" He could even hold a camera shooting their favorite movie. Of course, if she finds him after all. Will she find him? That's the question, and all of this wasn't okay at all. I feel someone present in this house. Suddenly, Joyce's eyes became red coals. He roared at me like a speeding train that can't be stopped. Are you out of your freaking mind? Did you see what you just saw, man? Did you? It peeled off the skin of her face back at the nursery. It killed Kate. It turned her into that creature thing. Do you understand that you'll kill us all, freak? But they want to help us. The girl's parents. It's our best chance. Great idea. Let's summon a bunch of ghost lunatics so they will finish us quickly. If you ask me, we are already doomed. God damn my freaking imagination. My mind pictured how among the candles the gate to hell appeared with the ghosts crawling out. They filled the ground floor, then the stairs, the first floor, the second. There were so many of them, they need to divide our limbs into such small pieces. Such that Kate's fingers is a delicious feast in this dark realm. And before I could see anything else so disgusting, my imagination ran out of battery. We don't have time. We don't have to summon them. They want to give us something. As far as I can tell from the words of the girl's father, he can help us kill the thing. Joy was going to say something, but Ella interrupted him. I wouldn't count on some ghost father of the mad dead girl, but it's better than nothing and looks like a chance. I don't like the idea either, but we really don't have a choice. The documents in the desk in this study, he was doing a research on ghosts, but something went wrong and his daughter set herself on fire while he was away. Now she's controlling the monster, it's her new toy. But the wiki board say I had to interrupt her. It was driving me mad. It was such pain to make up this story, so I didn't want to get the critical reviews on my scenario. It was Joy, did you forget that already? I think that girl's our main target, tried to kill us. Maybe the father wants to help, so the father has my point of trust. It's wise, the girl that's our problem. I will trust neither little brat nor her old man. If you're so smart, then finish her on your own. I threw the baseball bat to Joy and burst the door wide open. It's good that I knew that the thing was near the car now, not at our front door. It screamed in fear. Maybe if he was more quiet, it wouldn't even notice us. But he was screaming so loudly that the dead of the graveyard on the outskirts of the city could hear. No, shut it! The creature rushed to the door and now everyone screamed. Kate's corpse almost peeked inside the house. Her long arm clenched the rail of the porch, but we could feel her dead cold fingers grabbing our hearts beating in horror. It was so frightened that I thought the guy would have a heart attack. He hysterically threw up the baseball bat at the monster's head and hid his face in his hands. Martin's face changed. He clenched his teeth and was like a different person now. He bared his teeth and pushed me with his shoulder hard, so hard that I was almost kicked out of the house. Don't be an idiot, Ashley. If she didn't hold me, I would be here, outside the house. Martin wanted me there. He wanted to kill me. Maybe he knew something, maybe he just got sick of me, but there is no doubt he wanted to kill me. Freaking bloody killer. Well, Martin, after all, you deserve to be punished. What the hell, we are already in deep shit. If this thing gets in here, it will be the end. I'm sorry about that, I didn't mean to push you. But don't be stupid next time. Was he really sorry? I couldn't tell. Maybe he was lying to me, and why do I care anyway? He won't make it out alive anyway. That was a cool big guy. Joy couldn't say a word because Martin beat him up already. It was my favorite bat, just for the record. Martin punched Joy and kicked him in the stomach. Ella tried to stop him. I think that he's had enough already. Let's find the document. Wait, yes. Martin, calm down. Well, we'll have to find them. He helped Joy to get up. I'm sorry, but I'm very upset that I lost it. He almost beat the guy to death because of some baseball bat. But he nearly ignored his girlfriend's death. Martin, you are such a mystery. He's the true X-File. Joy, Martin, Grace, and I went upstairs. Wait, Ella stayed on the first floor to be on guard. She wasn't a coward, but a nice girl. Though I saw her hands shaking, we followed the voice, which I kind of hear in my head. The voice that I hear in my hand. Can you picture that? Like, your hand being like, hello? Of course, it guided us to the documents. My mind was full of thoughts and guesses of what was about to happen next. But still, the most interesting were the victims. The house, along with these guys, was just a box full of candies. They all had the chocolate skin and rotten souls sinking in bloody cream. Bones, teeth, and flesh revealed themselves to remind us about the past. Some people try to forget their horrible secrets, others put them in a jewel box and peek inside to remember their true self. Some don't even try to hide their past, it is the centerpiece of their collection. They keep it safe in a glass jar and take care of it, whipping dust from it every day of the week, like Martin Grain. I know that he has a collection of such hearts, somewhere inside his dead heart. Death is not a tragedy for him, it is his reason of his existence. I don't know, I think we'll figure it out. Oh, wow. And you had the right vision of the thing as usual. I was always fond of your way of thinking. As I can only read your thoughts, you are my favorite book, Ashley. Don't screw with my head, and I'm not some stupid book. But I have nothing else to do while these assholes are searching for the documents, Ashley. And the last story about the Midnight Curse was much better than this. It is not for you to decide which story I should tell. And I'm so angry at you right now. We are in serious shit because of your innovations. 2 monsters at a time. It was just the best idea, thanks a lot. How am I supposed to kill them? I thought that it won't be bad to make it the show more interesting, since otherwise I will be bored to death. You always kill them too easily. Boring. It is not some kind of boss in an RPG. You kill the one the other does. It's that simple. Don't try to fool me, even if my head struck the wall. That was brilliant. You were too focused on this document, you didn't notice the wall and these outs of yours. Hilarious. Go to hell. Who are you talking to? To the wall, I guess. Here's the cabinet. I remember how I was looking for newspapers for the Doll Inquisition, but the room was empty. Well, it isn't now. We entered the cabinet. Everything in this room hinted on some research. But mostly it was theoretical, as there were no scenes of the experiments. The pile of paper rested on the table and some files were scattered around the floor. Schemes and pictures were pinned to the wall, while a strange shelf with jars and medicine made me think of this place as a mad scientist lair. One of the walls was decorated by a deer skirt and above a shotgun was hanging. There was a door to a balcony in the room, but we couldn't open it. There was no way out and Joy panicked. He took the gun off the wall to point it at me. What the hell are you doing? We are all in this shit together. I didn't pay attention to Joy's aggressive gestures towards me. I looked on the barrel of the gun and smiled wryly. I knew that the gun isn't loaded. You won't scare me, boy. I continued to examine the desk drawer and soon find the document and her newspaper. It was her favorite trick. The newspaper was empty for now, and in the document I could find the spell of ghost materialization. I saw it to everyone. This will do just the thing, and we can use the gun for the monster, I think. Joyce pinned his finger in the Joyce pinned his finger in the gun like it was lifeboat that will carry him away from the sea of nightmares. Not even close, it was just a weapon without ammo. So in seconds I gave him a pack of metal shells. They are for hunting. If we are lucky we could kill some game. This isn't a store, take this and be grateful. I took the knife which was lying on the table. It's such luck to find it here, I grinned. The knife cut my skin and a drop of blood followed its blade. What is he writing? With surgical precision, trying not to touch the veins, I was carving the materialization spell. We all need to do it? That's what the ghost said. I nodded. Everyone carved the spell into their skin, but Grace. The girl hesitated to follow my example, but finally took off the bracelet and a knife appeared in her hand. Martin's face changed. What are you doing? Why did you take it off? Put it on. Put the thing on immediately, Grace. What's wrong with you? I can't do it with my left hand. That moment, Martin clenched Grace's hands and put the bracelet on her hand. Then he realized what he was doing. This bracelet brings luck. You will have more chances to get out here alive. Maybe I should put it on. If Chris refuses, you won't dare. Martin wanted to hit Joyce, but he pulled the trigger. Martin dodged the shotgun and the shell broke the glass of the middle cell. Freaking asshole. Hey, calm down, both of you. I don't give a shit about the bracelet. The girl smashed the bracelet on the floor and took the shotgun. Joyce, you idiot. You almost killed Martin. You should be more careful with that. Joyce looked very guilty, and Martin, as if nothing had happened, took the bracelet and put it in his pocket. Never mind. Are you ready, guys? Grace whipped the blood from her skin. Yes, now I'm ready. We heard a scream and got past all of our disagreements at once. It was time for us to go down the stairs and face the danger. Chick, chick, chick. The scene that I saw was terrifying enough. Ella curled in fear beside the wall. The door was wide open. A creature was standing in the center of the hall. A little girl was hovering from behind. Her fingers seemed to squeeze invisible threads, and the ends of which were sinking in the remains of the human flesh of the skeleton of Kate. Only now I noticed how chaotic and quick the movements of her head and body were. It was like a poorly staged play. I'll kill them all, with a story so shockingly bad that it seemed the creature itself didn't know what to do with all of these screeching teenagers. Oh yes, we utterly screeched. Even me, it's hard to resist as if someone yawns. Very sticky and invocative. Kate, maybe there's something left of her still, her wretched little soul, hanging in a web of guts and blood, slowly approached Ella. She was shaking all over. It seemed that she wanted to escape from the invisible gates but could not. She wanted to run away, or on the contrary to strangle Ella and then Grace for winning the beauty contest. Her mouth hole reminded me of a crescent moon. Kate's skeleton shouted as if to her fans, "Look at me, here I am, the real beauty queen." On my bald head burns a flame in the form of a crown. My fans come and support me. You guys, this girl is probably going to be the next VTuber. A tsundere melting zombie. And then out of the empty eye holes the two antennas show up. The croquettes run out of her eye sockets and the worms creep out of her ears. All of them chant, Kate, miss the worm. Miss the worm. Kate is the queen of beauty. Beauty kills. One of the croquettes remarks, she killed Kate Grills. Oh, she killed someone. More precisely, her absence. Noted the croquettes with the longer antennas. My mind put me somewhere else once again, I guess. Oh, my freaking imagination. What the hell are you doing here? Quick, run to the others upstairs. Suddenly Martin runs down the stairs and points the gun to the creature. Now that was one hell of a twist. Red was dumbstruck. A minute ago, it was him who held the gun, and now his hands were empty. His fingers were cold. Do you want to be picking lead out of your stomach, motherfucker? It seemed that Martin wanted to finish him quick. I heard the click of the slide, and like a thunderclap, there was a deafening shot. The creature felt the half demolished. No, I'm sorry for the mistake. Half of the spoon. Well, there was of course some skin on it, but it still couldn't be called a face. This couldn't be powder. The creature backed away, but the girl behind her with her arms obviously used urging the monster to kill Martin. What about the gay girl, the twin ponytails? What about Ella? Although this scene did immediately move my idea of the controlling threats of a dark puppeteer to the darkest corner in my mind, its skeleton opened her toothy bony mouth, or rather, what was left of it. I thought that now that this skull will crack, but no. All was good, for the monster of course. Martin was clearly not one of those who can surrender. His hands seemed to have completely refused to see him as master. In general, they refused to be human. And like some kind of mechanism, they quickly started loading the gun and shooting. They were no longer led by Martin. There was not even the slightest certainty that anything remained of him. No, these fingers, these hands, and the whole limb were guided by the idea of surviving at any cost. And everything will be fine, but these shots were so loud that it seemed as if Martin was standing right in my head and shooting at the monster, and even miss. Bastard. And all these damn bullets were piercing in my brain, making my head ache. I do not know, maybe I have a very sensitive nature, but he doesn't know it. Moreover, the monster doesn't know it either, and even if he did know, it wouldn't help the case. But at the moment when the shot broke through the cervical spine of the monster, my heart trembled. Martin nearly broke her damn locket, which for a moment flashed on the monster's neck, the object. I saw a lot of such objects in my short life. Medallions, necklaces, rings, not fantasy at all. They can barely be seen by the human eye and exist simultaneously in two worlds, ours and the other world. They let the ghosts stay here. Humans must escort them to the door with the encryption exit. Meanwhile, it became hot in here, and it's time to join the fight. I look at everyone else. They tremble like beetles in pain, who were suddenly granted at mind and realized that a butcher stands before them. We must help him. He will run out of ammunition. Who knows when we will need them? Don't just stand there and do something. I began to push Joy from the stairs, but the guy didn't want to go to the battlefield. He clenched his fingers in the stairwell raised so firmly that I would need to cut his hands off to move him. Are you insane? Stop this madness, Matsik. He's the one with the gun. His voice sounded threatening, but he was spooked, and he was shaking. He was shaking so much that I thought now all the steps will begin to jump up like a child's xylophone. Well, what had I expected from him? But if the presence of his pile of muscles I immediately rushed into battle, it would be at least strength. Above, something flashed. On the second floor, right next to the last step, was laying an axe. Thanks. She didn't say anything, but I could feel her smile tighten. and the corners of my lips suddenly turned into snakes that wrapped around my neck and turned into a loop. What? But before she cut my throat, before jumping into the void, I was able to overcome some uncertainty and fear. It was not the first time, but who said it's easy to kill a monster? Whoever said that, it's easy to kill. I clearly I clearly remembered me standing in the middle of the glass shards in the mental hospital Rain's Mill when the first ghost appeared. It was a girl. She looked at me with her eyes and called me into her world, but I didn't go. I poked a revolver in the object that was her bind to our world, a piggy bank, which was in her hands, and fire. It was easy, only a moment, but it seemed to last forever. It seemed that I drowned in the abyss of her death eyes. I had fallen into her death brain and got lost in a labyrinth of convulsions, right? Convulsions? It's convulsions, right? This is not right, then it's convulsions, right? All these thoughts whizzed through my head. My instincts were quicker than my thought, and almost instantly, in order not to change my mind, I rose to the axe and then went down to Martin. Shoot the legs until you break them. It sounded at least like an order from the commander, and probably more because of how I did sound, rather than actual logic, so the guy did. A swarm of metal spheres flew from the muzzle, and shot struck from the bottom of her leg. One of the balls was stuck in the patella, and at the same time it was in my head, and 2 more balls were aimed in the bone. The rest fell behind the creature. A few more shots were fired, but the bone didn't want to break. I already wanted to say, "What the hell, man, just give me a gun." But only I had to break the locket by all means, while pretending that I had chopped off the creature's head. How difficult it is, damn it. I swore to myself that if this asshole doesn't bother to fight off a dead stinger's leg, I cut it to pieces. But he could not do it with 2 more shots. I was ready to admit that he did not shoot at all with bullets, but with their shadows, or even ghosts, and maybe just miss. In general, when my patience began to shorten, forcing me to slaughter a bastard, a miracle happened. Finally, I heard a long-awaited crack. The bullets, which overgrew with Bone's body and strength, became real and punched the damn Bone. The battering ram destroyed the tower of the citadel, and the monster fell. I ran abruptly to the monster and wanted to hit his hand with the axe, but the death gate seemed to be quicker than the alive gate. She jerked her hand away, and the axe instantly entered the wooden floor, breaking through the boards. I jerked it out with all my strength, but it was stuck. Her laughter was heard. For a second it seemed to me that a sharp row of her teeth flashed on the blade of the axe, and she smiled. Perhaps it gave me strength, and maybe she decides to help me. I do not know how, but I still managed to free up the axe and bring it back for a blow. As a sentence, the guillotine blade fell to the head of the creature. Heavy metal cut the cervical section, but if I did not cut the medallion with my next step, this monster could be reborn and come with a renewed strength. And we do not need this shit. But to hide the exact direction of my blow, I began to beat the creature more and more, pretending that I was hysterical, and that what is happening is just driving me crazy. Inch by inch, the skin of the dead skeleton began to appear, and soon I saw Kate. Her head was still separated from her torso, but the wounds were healed. There was a cry. It was the ghost girl. I did not pay attention to her. Blood poured over my face. My fingers tightly squeezed the axe. This trick of hers I saw for the first time. She does not cease to amaze me. I felt how the cold energy began to fill me, as if my body was under the ice. It's like she's coming home from work. Unlock the door and changed into her home clothes. Although I do not know if there is a work in the world of the dead that suits her age. My hands began to tingle and my eyes shed tears. The tooth, which I tightly clenched in my pocket, cut my fingers. She's ready. With measured steps, she walks down the corridor, touching the walls with her cold, pale fingers as if touching my skin. I knew where she was going, and when the dining room door opened, I knew how hungry she was. Her mouth widened and her eyes became black holes, but only for a moment. She went to the table and lifted the lid of the tray. The room was filled with the unbearable smell of rotten organs and blood. Under it lay the insides. A heart, brain, and guts were wrapped around the skin flaps. Near them, on the delicacy plate, nearly lay the eyes. Her thin fingers slowly lowered down, took one eye very carefully, like it was the most precious treasure, and put it on her tongue. Then started. Eyeballs. She took another organ and it also went into her mouth. She ate the rest of the insides, wrapping them around a fork and piercing, after cutting the heart and brain into small pieces to make it convenient to chew. Envy with a taste of contempt and cold blood is an ideal combination, chef. Bravo! I swallowed. I didn't like this image in my head at all, but what could I do? I have always said that I have too lively of an imagination. She always used it against me at any convenient moment. All the time it seemed to her that everything was too simple, that drama scene was too little. Since we are not doing this very often, we must savor every moment, enjoy every second. Perhaps she wanted to share her happy moments with me, but in any case, this thing in my head almost made me sick to my stomach. Are you okay, Ro? Too scared? Even though there are no jump scares or such? I mean, this falls mostly into the genre of like Saw movies. Oh, good night, Ro. It's okay. Okay, back to Ella. Did you see it? She became human again. Martin looked at me. He didn't lower the gun. Yes, it was too fast to comprehend. There was a moment when I thought that I'm already dead, or that this is just a very bad dream. But we didn't have a choice. Good job, Ashley. Nice, we need to get out of here. Everyone rushed to the exit. What the hell? When their hands finally reached for freedom, the door closed shut. I didn't look at it, as I knew that there was no exit. No, that can't be. Shit. Martin aimed at the lock and made a shot, and another one. And then he saw the holes on the door, but that the lock remained intact. The guy looked through it like through a transparent tape. Through the thin scratches were seen, not too well, but it was clear that they were ghost-like. What the hell? You did this, freak? I saw that Grace wanted to say something, but she didn't. If she did so, her brother will be banished. I was no pro at kidnapping, but I needed to gain the control of Grace by any means. So as Beta held her brothers as hostage, no, of course, it was just a trick. It was her brother wanting to prank his sister. That was handy. Grace punched Martin in the face and the guy fell down. This mad ball ripped the weapon from Martin's grasp. It's my payback, you asshole. He pointed a shotgun at me, and for a moment I thought that I lost. But he seemed so confident in his poder. Poder? What? in his power that he was about to make a mistake by underestimating me. I don't need pallets because I don't want to kill you. I'll beat you with this damn thing until you tell me how to get out of this shit. Grace smirked. Even without her tips, I was in danger. But I understood what I was doing when I agreed, and Lloyd had a lot of reasons not to trust me. And then, in the factory, if the control center had not exploded, which should not have been working by the way, I would have been cut in two. He was already stepping in my direction, throwing up his gun. Throwing up his gun? He ate a gun and then threw up? I was scared. I was not afraid of the pain that he could cause me, but the consequence of failure that could shake the most daring imagination. I began to slowly climb up the stairs. Yikes. This is like in the Shining movie. Okay, Lloyd looked at me with ravenous eyes like I was his prey and I couldn't even understand. What? Wait. Why are they mixing two different things? Like having relations with killing someone. It's pretty clear he wants to kill her, not to intermingle with her. I could not imagine what was happening in his hand, what those were behind his eyes, sharp like blades that will strip my body. Then I realized that I was wrong. Still, it was scary, very scary. He was simply insane. He was bored by the idea of killing me, destroying me. All of his gestures told me that he wanted blood. His teeth flashed in the light of the pale moon, and his fingers, like claws of a bird prey, dug into the railing. He said he would beat the information out of me, but that was far from the truth. More precisely, he will do something terrible with me, right after he receives the answers, and they will not satisfy him. Although even if the door had opened, he would have killed me, probably. He is a notorious killer. The number of his victims is 2, and now I heard them. They were near. And with each second, when he was getting closer to me, they also took a step forward. He had completely gone mad. He quietly laughed and began to sneak up the stairs. As if afraid to fight me, he's a hunter and I'm a game. But all the same, he could not stand it and threw himself at me. He grabbed me by the hood and almost pushed me off the stairs. He wanted to hit me with his head on the step to cut my skull. How he wanted to see my crushed brain, to step on it and clip up the career ladder of a killer, to go even higher. He wanted to, but he had hid his desires all this year. Martin is not as mad as him, although I'm sure that he has a lot of victims behind. But Martin killed them neatly, with love if I might say so. He conned them as I remember forever. As for this psychopath, he killed once and since then he could not remember the taste of blood, as if he was afraid of something. But he's not afraid anymore. Damn those eyes. He remembered this taste and now it overflows within him. Blood raining like scarlet snakes on his tongue and pouring all around his face. This guy was drowning in it, seeing in front of him only a red veil of hatred, anger, and incredible thirst. When the psycho attacked for the first time, I broke free, but Lloyd hit my leg with the metal barrel and I began to limp a little, but still managed to climb higher. He again swung his weapon at me and hit me in the temple. I almost died on the spot, but I still had some strength. She gave it to me when I touched tooth. When I dragged my little body to the second floor, I dipped my finger in the blood and drew her symbol, so she would give me even more strength. I felt much better. The pain was overshadowed. I rushed into the office and saw that there was a revolver on the desk, all slightly rusted with a faded inscription, most likely loaded with and cracked with a few minutes ago. I automatically grabbed it and began to look for a safe place, like a trapped beast. I was wondering why she was speechless. I wanted her advice what to do next. Soon I realized that she was not interested in helping me so much, because then, from all this action-packed scene, she won't have an exciting show. And unfortunately, I could not start a dialogue with her first. She did not hear me. The door to the balcony suddenly opened, and I immediately realized that this invitation was addressed to me. The hands of the wind were calling me, handily touching my cheeks and stinging a wound on my forehead. It was already close enough. I ran to the balcony, and this psychopath rushed after me. The moon illuminated his crooked face with its pale colors, and from this he looked even more insane. It is over. Now you will be playing only by Daddy's rules. There was a noise. Maybe it was staged. Perhaps Grace and Ella did not really want to get involved with Joyce's half-wit, but I think Martin was already awake. It could be him, or is just a branch knocking on the grass. Everything is possible in this strange world. Maybe I should just jump down into the darkness and break my neck. Maybe she won't let me. I would like to shoot a bullet into Joyce's head. No, of course I won't kill him, but who said that I couldn't shoot his foot or something like that? The ghost said, that's who. I can't do anything to Joyce or anyone else. All pain must belong to them, and otherwise all is in vain. But she still gave me the weapon, knowing that I could not use it. I could hear her laughing. I squeezed the revolver in my hand. She started to fear that I would kill him, and I could. I did not have to answer for my actions anymore. To hell with the deal, I'll just kill the motherfucker and come what may. God, how my temple hurts and how he pissed me off. The moon lit up in the balcony like a searching light, brightening the scene, and the show was about to begin. I already heard them. They were close, right behind me, down there, under the balcony. I leaned over the railing and felt a cold flow of air coming from below. I aimed at Joyce and took my hand away so the bullet did not hit him. Then pulled the trigger. Do you wanna kill me, idiot? Go ahead, shoot! He took my hand and pressed to his chest. I squeezed my finger on the trigger. Click, misfire. Misfire? I am immortal. My deeds are immortal. You can't do anything about it, freaking wits. I snatched my hand away and threw the revolver from the balcony, so as to not accidentally wound this motherfucker. Joyce came at me and put the metal barrel to my temple. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe? Catch a witchy girl by the toe? If she cries, don't let her go. Take a knife and cut her throat. He fell silent. His hand holding into the barrel weakened. In his eyes, instead of madness, they clearly saw fear. Someone grabbed his hand tightly. It was a dark-haired girl. She quickly climbed into the balcony and a young guy followed her. Since the balcony was quite high, I had no doubt that this couple were ghosts. They both had the same tattoo as Joyce, a lizard. The girl's hair was thrown back by the wind, her white neck gleamed from the reflection of the pale moon on the glass. So I assume that the ghosts are all somehow connected to each person, like from their past. Wait. Okay. Nadine? Tom? They didn't say a word. Perhaps they had something to say to him. Only their mouths were stitched up, as always a frightened image of a vengeful ghost. Their glassy eyes reflect Joyce's distorted face. Perhaps if the seams had parted, they would have screamed in pain or despair. Joyce stepped back, but the spirits are already gone. The ghost left me alone with the mad guy. It was strange. I thought that they were now teaching him a lesson. I could feel how they rushed to him to finish him off. But she seemed to hold them back. They were like chained dogs who can't resist the will of their mistress. Joyce clenched his teeth and tried to hit me on the head with a weapon, but I dodged. Goddamn, you freaking game's a game. You can say my name and let me in, then I will finish the boy myself. I bent so Joyce couldn't throw me across the railing. The crumbs of paint fell on my hook. Now you will have them, only use the book. The guy grabbed me by the throat and slowly began to leave. I'm very light, so it's easy to throw me from the balcony. Well then, let me delay this sweet moment of denouement a little, since it always arouses my interest, you know. Okay, now have fun. Joyce risked hard and he released me. I walked away from the railing. It was very difficult to dodge his attacks. Yet was very tough and strong, and yet he was insane. Everyone knows that the person who is of the stronger is much stronger than normal. He grabbed me and threw me on the ground. I already thought that I couldn't get up, but touching the tooth, I could. Then I realized that continuing this madness is meaningless. I need to run away from this monster. Moonlight passed along the rails of the balcony. Behind them was a window. The window seemed to come out from the wall of the house to admire the scenery, a dark forest in which I couldn't see a damn thing, and a moon that strolled along the branches and the crowns of trees with its pale legs. I pushed Joyce away and ran to the railing. I climbed on them and jumped, putting my hands forward. They sharply grasped the protruding edge, but at the same time I banged my head against the stone, so I almost unclenched my fingers. Spitting blood into the dark abyss of the night, I almost strained my hands to pull myself up. All of my muscles ached, but somehow I did it. I felt dizzy and I nearly fell down again, but my self-preservation instinct worked just in time. My hand gripped the ledge into which the columns of the balconies of the third floor were driven. I climbed into it and all my strength, and again feeling the pain in my joints, I pulled myself up. As soon as I climbed onto the balcony, I immediately fell to the cobblestone floor. I was like, floor? There was a knock. I jumped and leaning over the rail, I saw Joyce, who was holding onto the ledge. I stepped back. Stairs. I saw her while I climbed her. I ran up to her and quickly, despite the fact that my whole body ached, I climbed to the roof. I had nowhere to run. Maybe it's time for the show? I think you're right. Her voice sounded offended. It's like I just took a toy from a child. Well, excuse me, the toy clenching his teeth like some kind of mechanism climbed up to me on the roof. Of course, Joyce was a toy, but because I was an instrument, he ran at me. The guy was already without a weapon, but his hands could already inflict serious bodily harm. Or maybe he'll just throw me off the roof. Suddenly there was a strange sound, and before me appeared a dark wall of fluttering wings. The ravens struck Joyce, but they did not touch him. All pain must belong to them. The guy was already near the edge of the roof. I almost screamed with fright when he fell, but then there were ghosts. It seemed to me that I heard their names. Voices whispered Nadine, Thomas. They caught Joyce and dragged him to the roof. The crows disappeared and nothing protected me, which means this is the end. They dragged him, screaming into the moonlight spot to make the execution. I was very curious what they would do to him. You need to return to the house now. Her voice was tense, you might even say frightened. This is so interesting, right? I feel like it will be hard to to stop the stream, but I will eventually have to, so so anxious. Okay, how about we start, because definitely we are going to die if we stay and look on the execution, so let's try that, and then later we try with the return to the house, yeah? I see that everything else could wait. I want to see the execution of this bastard. I need to see it. I understand that she is very, very hungry and wants to eat them all as soon as possible, but damn it, I need to see how this motherfucker will suffer. You're making a mistake. Grace is in danger. Hurry. I just need a quick peek, that's all. Nadine always liked the moon. I believe that the moonlight makes the atmosphere more romantic. That's what's with her voice. She sounds crushed. What the hell? What are you talking about? I caught her in my head, but the sounds of torn flesh and Joyce's cries drowned out my thoughts and my mind. Nadine pulled his arm, and Thomas in turn did the same with the other hand. It seemed that they wanted to share his pain, his scream. This was the last thing they could do together in this world. What a loving couple. The tattoo of the lizard lit up on the girl's neck, and the same thing happened to the guy's tattoo. The tattoo did not move. It seemed that it froze in horror. Sparkling black lizards crawled over their bodies. Soon they gained flesh and form and stemmed from their bodies, moving into the guy's shoulder. The mouths of the ghosts were seen up, but I could hear their thoughts. I want you to forget what you did to me. I want you to forget my body, forget my kiss, forget my smell, mixed with the rotten smell of pine, which you gave me to drag me and then screw me. I want you to forget my voice, forget that I exist, forget that I was your friend, that you killed me. I want you to forget that you ever exist. The lizards flashed their sharp teeth in the pale light of the moon and began to dip into George's head. He was shouting for a while, but when one of the lizards took a bite of his brain and spat on the girl's thigh, he fell silent. Blood was pouring from his mutilated skull and stopped from a full-blown vine. Nadine and Thomas pulled on themselves again and tore Joyce's body through. The guts poured out of him like cereal from a box and got her plate. But she threw them into the trash can and clenched her teeth in a box. The last flesh of a sinner. It was melting on her tongue like chocolate. I remember that it was time to return and decided to try go down through the chimney. Finding cracked bricks, I hit them with my foot. At first I did not break, so I kicked the stone again. I finally managed to break a hole that I could crawl through. Inside the chimney, I found a small metal edge under my feet. How nice that she foresaw this happening. Slowly dropping my legs and fingering, wait. I'm going to save this in a different... I stand lower and lower along the staircase attached to the wall. She left it for me, and the chimney was wide enough to stand without any troubles. Once I was in the first floor, I found that it was not easy to get out. The fireplace was quite small. I sat down on all fours, but then learned for what to let my hands touch the ground. I lifted one foot and passed against the stone. There was a crash of the grating, and then it broke. I fell out of the fireplace and, rising abruptly, ran to Ella. Where is Martin and Grace? He has her. The girl was sitting on the mattress and holding her newspaper in her hand. She looked wide-eyed right in front of her, and next to me laid my bag, snatching the newspaper from her hands. Raising this issue, beauty requires sacrifice. A girl sets on fire the house of her best friend, who won the Miss School contest. Friends can be as thick as thieves. A rabbit forced his friends to jump off a roof right after he screwed his girlfriend. Rubric intrigue. Serial killer lover is now in your house. Carefully look at yourself in the mirror and make sure that your appearance is not similar to his sister. She received all of the love of her parents, and he hates her. And he hates you the same way, Grace Hadley. A letter from our readers. Hello, dear Ella. If you're reading this, then I'm already around. Mr. Bubbles still wants to play with you. I'm sure that you are also waiting for this. After all, last time you just died of waiting to play with him. Announcement. I will buy strings. Unfortunately, mine are now sticking out of bleeding wrist. With such, you can play the guitar. For all questions, please contact Anna Reithberg. Southern Quadrant 7th Row location, Erston Groves. Grace, where the hell are you? I shook Ella. Where are they? God damn it. Ella could not answer. She was scared, and besides she really did not know. Ella just pointed up, but this is not an answer. It's the same as if she did not know, and perhaps it would be better if she did not say anything at all, did not show her existence, did not show that she was here. I was really pissed off. I hit her in the face. Now I became another Ashley. The killer girl. Ashley the murderer, not the one that someone's ghost hides behind her. Now I had to become the devil himself. It was clear that they were on the upper floors. Martin wanted to kill her, like all those who have already worn his bracelets. Looking up, I asked myself the question, am I ready for a meeting with you, lover? Hell yeah, I'm ready. I ran up the stairs. Although I was already very close to the second floor, it seemed to take only the first step. Fear frees time and eclipsed my mind. The cold hands of the dead girl seeped through the steps that I descend. They grabbed me, wanted to listen to their stories. They wanted to yell at me, to pour on me with the blood which dripped on my mind, swollen by madness. They wanted to rip off my ears, whisper their story inside of them, spit worms, and throw their signs in my face. They wanted to do anything so that I would pay attention to their voice. They were already there, awakened too fast, suddenly, and not according to plan. Every one of them knew that Martin was about to do it again, and even she could not hold them anymore. She should have. Wait, because if Martin is the one that kills girls that have the same resemblance of her sister, that means that on the very first bad ending, in the one that they go to the amusement park, Grace dies, but he is hospitalized, screaming that it should have been him. So maybe I'm thinking that it was not an accident, but he actually did kill her on the amusement park. I felt that the ground beneath me has shifted. No, that's not the case. The truth is, I'm still down there, on the first floor, possibly next to Ella, maybe buried under the floor, like one of Lover's victims. Matty Carblade lies behind wooden boards in a country house. The rays of the sun penetrate into the cracks, slipping, falling into her empty eye holes. Dust getting into deep wounds on the chest and wrist. Perhaps this is what I am. After all, it doesn't matter who I am right now. I felt that everything was about to lose its meaning. I was Beth Crayford, whom he had hung from the bridge near New Lake Rose, straight to the north along the main road, past the cemetery. Turn your head 90 degrees to say hello. I'm hanging on a rope, and the necklace that grabbed my wrist is silver wrist. The wind is whistling through the holes in Chick's eyes, and palms may be trying to say something to seagulls passing by. The face is disfigured beyond recognition. A pretty nose, like a piece from a children's constructor, lies in a hole where ants live. But in my opinion, I'm now not anyone else but Grace Huntley, the first school beauty rock singer. Grace Hadlin. My hair floating in the wind like a flag inspires guys to do crazy things. My beautiful body is done by a sculptor who, all his life, holds only charming girls, and there are no equals. My eyestyles are so shining and cunningly sexy. I'm Grace Hadlin. I want to throw my arms around you, handsome guy, but they nail to the wall. What? So is this part of her past, or this is so confusing? So she died? Wait, I don't really understand. I'm Grace Hadlin. My birth to desire by you are cut and disfigured. I'm Grace Hadlin. I killed that witch Ashley with Martin's knife, which strips my belly. I'm Grace Hadlin. I'm not screaming because I'm as dead as you, Ashley. Wait, what? So is the ghost of Grace? She dead. She dead. She's so dead. For some reason, they are making this pause in the game. Like, is it really necessary? I mean, there is no tension here. This is definitely... I knew this was going to be a bad ending. But why is not moving? Why is not the story going forward? Hello? Oh, okay. I was like, hello? Well, congratulations, you're dead. And what did you expect? Ignoring the creature that controls everything here? But the execution was cool, huh? I think so too. Well, now let's get the job done. The ritual is not complete yet. I hope that you have saved your game data. Give it a try. I decided not to forget about the main scene. It seemed to me that if I stayed for only a couple of minutes, I would put everything I believe in danger. Do not say that my faith is strong, no. But there are rules that should not be broken. I need to get back to the guys, not to the victims. To do this as quickly as possible, I decided to try to go down through the chimney. Finding cracked bricks, I hit the crack with my foot. At first, they did not break, so I kicked the stone again. Finally, I managed to break a hole that I could crawl through. Yet a scream and a crunch of bones were heard from behind, but I did not turn around, no time for it. Inside the chimney, I found a small metal ledge under my feet. How nice, that's the first saw this happening. Slowly dropping my legs and fingering the leads, I descended lower and lower along the staircase attached to the wall. She left it for me here, and the chimney was wide enough to descend without any troubles. Once I was on the first floor, I found that it was not easy to get out. The fireplace was quite small. I sat down on all fours and then leaned forward to let my hands touch the grating. I lifted one foot and pushed it against the stone. There was a crash of grating and then it broke. I fell out of the fireplace and, rising abruptly, ran to Ella. "Where's Martin? Where's Grace?" He has her. The girl was sitting on the mattress and holding her newspaper in her hand. She looked wide-eyed right in front of her, and next to me lay my bag. I snatched the newspaper from her hands. "Reading this issue." "Yeah, we already got this." Yeah, okay, so it's one of these news is from its person. Okay. Grace, where are you? God damn it. I shook Ella. "Where the hell are they?" Ella could not answer, not because I did not give her enough with my sudden shocking. She was scared and besides she really did not know. Ella just pointed up, but this is not an answer. It's the same as if she did not know, and perhaps it would be better if she did not say anything at all, did not show her existence, did not show that she was here. I was really pissed off. I hit her in the face. Now I became another Ashley. It was clear that they were on the upper floors. Martin wanted to kill her, like all those who have already given his bracelets. Looking up, I asked myself the question, am I really for a meeting with you, lover? Hell yeah, I'm ready. I ran up the stairs. Although I was already very close to the second floor, I seemed to take only the first step. Fear freeze time and eclipsed my mind. Wait, is happening again? But this time we didn't. I don't understand. So it doesn't matter what we choose, this is the ending for us? Oh, okay. After skipping a few steps, I was on the second floor. There was a cry. It was Grace. Then the cry came from the nursery. I climbed the stairs to the third floor and prepared for the worst. The girl was lying on the bed. Her hands and feet were tied, and a familiar bracelet gleamed on her thin wrist. Martin was holding a knife above her. Hearing my steps, the guy turned and pierced me with his gaze. He did not look like himself now. His eyes glittered like sapphires, as if he were going to acquire something that he had always dreamed of. He licked his trembling lips. I'll do it, Ashley. You know that she's mine. You hear them. Now I know. I can hear them too. They are after you. It ends now. I lied, of course, before it would be over. I still need to deal with the couple, and then destroy the entire harem of Martin. The lover was born with a Tsar. He was no longer human. He became a monster. His shadow stretched out and dug his fangs into Grace. No, it's just an imagination, but the steps behind me were not. I turned around. Madness. God, I missed them. Couple was dragging along the corridor. I recognized the tattoo on the girl's neck and, of course, these chewed-up mouths. It looks like they already dealt with Joy, and now wander around the house in search of new victims. Martin and Grace will be ideally suited for this role, but I could not afford it. Not on my watch. Right in front of me, if I had become the very epicenter of the events, there was a girl who once belonged to Martin Grain, and he belonged to her. Jane Grain, she had huge knives coming from her back for cutting meat. The scars that protruded on the skin in the places where there were glimpses between the bandages glinted scarlet. She smelled of medicine and blood. Jane was holding bandages in her hands, which were twisted with white snakes on her necks, on the necks of 3 other girls. They looked like dogs on a leash. The bandages were so tight that I thought she would strangle them or break their necks. But of course, it was a very stupid idea. After all, the girls were already dead. I saw only 3 girls who began to approach the couple, but felt the presence of at least 10 or even more. Having examined the commander girl more attentively, I saw that there were still bandages stretching from her hands. 5 on each arm, they waved in the air with white waves. I heard what? I missed that. I saw girls in a strange dance. These are called silver and plastic bracelets that knock on each other. For a second, my mind seemed to be in a different dimension. I saw girls in a strange dance. Wait, no. I already read that. What? I heard a soft tapping. Is that what I was missing? One of them held the hand of the other. She grabbed a stab where the hand used to be. The other clung to the protruding bone. The third touched the wall with a finger and wrote, "Martin Grain, do you love me?" And then her hand slipped and grabbed around the guy's neck, and she could not kill Martin. Not until Jane commanded her to. The couple was, at first, confused and scattered, shaking their heads. The girls tore off the bandages and leaned forward, exposing their sharp teeth. They were digging with their fangs into the bodies of Nadine and Thomas, trying to tear them apart, but they could not kill them without destroying the binding object's tattoos. And I could not allow this. Nadine, who sat on her shoulders, was not able to balance herself and collapsed from the steps, roaring toward the second floor. The glass bracelet broke from a strong blow, and the girl with a cry disappeared. Sally, one of the lover victims, bit out her tongue and cut it around the neck of a girl with a tattoo. But thank God she did not touch the pattern. Nadine managed to dodge and run downstairs. If Sally, who is now asleep in grave... What? If Sally, who is now sleeps engraved in the Ernston Grove Cemetery, saw such a picture, she would certainly vomit. If she saw what became of her, she would share her breakfast with the crows who visit her grave every day, that's for sure. I took one of the knives, pulling it out of Jane's bag and rushed to Martin, bewildered by what was happening, to hit him in the temple and neutralize the bastard. Jane Grain turned to me. Her eyes were covered with bandages, but I knew that her look was definitely unkind, and all the pain belongs to her and the girls. I can't kill Martin, but since the blow was not so painful, it seems that she forgave me for this. I rushed out of the room and ran downstairs to the first floor, following Nadine, Thomas, and several girls from the horde. Running down the steps, I saw Sally stand upright. Honestly, I thought that she would remain crawling on all fours. The girl put her hands in her mouth, stirring bandages on her face, and pulled them out, pierced with blades that went under her fingernails. She got close to the Nadine and wanted to slash her neck again, but I got just in time between them and blocked the attack with a knife. Yes, let's say that the years of training made me a skilled fighter. However, I'm just human. Sally touched my hand with her claws. Somehow, overcoming the pain, I took Nadine by the throat and cut through the middle of the tattoo, softly pressed on the temple. The girl's head tore off and fell on the floor, and the body crumbled to dust. The seams on Thomas' lips barred, and he yelled. Worms fell from the open mouth. and Sally was already coming for a new strike. This time she attacked me. I thought she was my ally, though temporary, but at the very moment it became clear that she wanted to kill me as well. Having beaten the blow with a knife, I swung at Sally and she backed away. Turning sharply, I grabbed Thomas by the hand, and he pushed me away and snatched the knife from my weak fingers. Without thinking twice, the guy stabbed the blade in my stomach. Then he jumped to Sally and cut over her beaded bracelet. Oh damn, I almost died. I closed my eyes anticipating my death, but no, I can't die like this. My life does not belong to me. In front of me lay the first step, and I knew that I had to do with them one of my teeth acts. No, I will not do it. I don't want to go. Go to hell. You lost too much blood, just let me help. Damn, Thomas seemed to think that I was dead, and head upstairs to finish Martin and Grace. Ella did not notice. She seemed to be still sitting in the next room, not giving any sign of life. How can you be in a house where you can hear everything happening around you? You are next room and you are chilling reading newspaper or something like that? I wonder if she's confused at all. I frowned to the forces and put them in my mouth. Experiencing the infernal pain, I grabbed one of the teeth in my metal grip and pulled. But I would not have had the strength to pull a tooth, so she helped me. The force flew out of the hands, and the blood spilled to the floor with a thin trickle. I took the hair-rotten tooth, which was now whiter than all of mine, and inserted it into the place of the torn one. I immediately grabbed my place, and I gained the strength. And most importantly, the wound was torn out. I did not think that I had to go that far. I have a feeling that they are going to give me another choice. You know, big choice. Or it's just freezing. I need to know. Come on. Seriously, why does it take so long to make either a choice or to say, hey, this is how it continues? Why are they making these pauses? It kills off everything. Hello? Yeah, I think the game froze somehow. It happened several times by now, but it's annoying, it's very annoying. Anyway, I guess it's also a cue to leave the rest for next time. I really want this game to be a one-time stream, but apparently it's not gonna work that way, so... So yeah, let's finish let's finish it here. Okay, this was Silence the House. This game is that her, I mean, it's the name of the game. You can get it on Steam. It's very annoying that it waits a very long time for some events. And yeah, next time we will find out what happens, hopefully. They should make an update to remove all these waiting times. Thank you so much for staying put with me for 3 hours. This is a new record, 3 hours and 20 minutes. And see you next time. Okay, thank you. See you soon. Bye bye.